Hey everybody, today we have another trash find. We pulled out this Poulan Pro out of the garbage and it looks pretty beat up and pretty worn out. So let's start up here. We have this lovely clamp. Let me get out of the sun. We have this lovely clamp holding on this cable end. And as we walk back, we have a broken off wing nut. And we come back, it's full of grass and leaves and everything. And as we come down farther, we have a hook that is trying to hold the carburetor on and a wire tie trying to hold the carburetor on. I don't know what this wire tie is trying to hold on. Maybe it is part of that. So we're missing some bolts out of the carburetor. Let's see if there's any gas in it. There is a drop of gas in. We have some type of rope sticking out of there. Why, I have no idea. I would have to think maybe they drove over something in the ropes there. It's missing its top cover, and if we come around this side here, everything looks okay. It's supposed to be self-propelled. There is a little bit of oil in it, but it's low and dirty and nasty. Well, just for ha-has, let's get G Junior over here. Ooh, ooh, do it again. Ooh. What the hell is going on there? This one might be too far gone to fix. And it looks like that bolt's loose, that bolt's missing, that bolt's missing. We're going to have to scrounge up some bolts for this one. But this one might be going to the trash. Possibly to the metal yard, maybe some parts. Go ahead and let's flip it up on its side and let's take a look underneath while I'm still filming. Let's take a look underneath what we got here. Well, actually, it doesn't look too bad underneath here. The blade is pretty dull. Got a lot of build up here. It does have, it is supposed to be self-propelled. All that stuff still looks intact. I don't know. Let's, we are going to take and maybe find a couple bolts for it and see if we can get that top cover and the pull start tighter to see if we can even get this pulled over. And it's missing the bolts for the carburetor. So we're going to have to scrounge up some bolts and stuff. I don't know if I really have any bolts and stuff here at the house. But this one's pretty interesting. I don't know if we're going to get it running or not. So let me come back in a little while and see if we can get this thing some bolts and scrounge up some bolts and stuff. Alrighty. So we got the bag off and emptied the bag. It was pretty nasty. And I started looking at the carburetor. They had this hook through this hole into here holding the carburetor on, and then the carburetor is also supposed to be held on by this bolt here. Well, this bracket is broken. So another thing I noticed too is that this is the intake, I would guess you'd call it the carburetor gasket for the intake. This is supposed to fit inside the carburetor like that. And now this is the retaining ring that goes here that pops in. Well, that was all popped out, just laying here, jiggling around on the intake manifold. So I do believe that is another reason it had a huge vacuum leak, probably why it won't run. The pull cord is only this long, and somebody tied a knot way up here. I retied a knot down here. I'm still trying to get this knot out so we maybe get a bigger pull on it. We found a new bolt for this one. And we were going to put a new bolt in this one, but unfortunately that bolt is snapped off. So we went ahead and tightened that. So now when we pull it over, it does seem to be pulling over a little bit better. I need to get that knot untied so we can get a bigger pull on it. Oh, and then the air cleaner is all falling apart, and it's nasty, and it's also got it down into the throat of the carburetor. So we're probably going to spray that out. I'll get the carburetor back on. They stripped this bolt out. I don't know what I'm going to do about getting the carburetor back on here and staying tight, especially since this bracket tree is broken. I don't think we have another motor. We don't have another old Tecumseh, do we? No, we don't have another old Tecumseh. Maybe we'll just wire tie it back on. I'm just interested to see if we can get it running. So I misspoken. This is a Briggs & Stratton engine. This is an old style Briggs & Stratton where the carburetor is mounted on top of the gas tank. I know I said Tecumseh. I have Tecumseh on my head because that one is a Tecumseh. That's what's wrong. So anyway, so this one is a Briggs. I'm having the boy, G Junior, kind of clean some of the stuff off. And then, like I said, we'll try to get the carburetor back on here so we can get it, try to attempt to start this one. So we pulled the whole carburetor gas tank off, and now I remember this bolt is supposed to have a shoulder, and then it's got threads all the way on this piece up in there. So I had a bolt that was too long, so what I did is I threaded that bolt in and I put a nut on it and a washer. So once I got this threaded in far enough, I tightened the nut, so now that's nice and tight. Now on this part here, this piece is actually broken, and I didn't have a thin enough washer to go there, but I had this really thick washer. So I put this bolt back in and tightened it. So now the carburetor is not being held on by wire ties and a utility hook. And then we took this out of the holder to try to give us a better pull on the lawnmower, but it looks like this thing must have come unwound because this thing should be pulling this cord all the way in. So we're getting ready. We're going to put it on the ground, put some fresh gas in it. Oh, my G Junior cleaned out the carburetor and wiped down this, so we're going to go ahead and put some more gas in it. And we're going to put it on the ground. Let's see if we can get this thing started. All right, here we go. We got everything put back together best possible. We have gas in it. We're going to hit the primer a couple times. All right, let me put my foot on it. All right, try it. Go ahead. All right. All right, hold on a second. Let me get some starting fluid because you don't have a lot of cord there pulling on it. All right, try it. All right, stop. All right, let's pull the plug. We're going to pull the plug out and see if we have any spark now because we're not even getting a pop out of this thing. All right, we went ahead and we pulled the plug out, and it's got one of these E3 double electrode type plug-in. So we got another plug that we know is good, and we're going to check and see if it has spark. Go ahead and pull it. Okay, well, I don't see any spark, and I know that that's the handle there is kind of messed up. So release it. Is it released? So that's released. Let's look here. Go ahead and pull on it. Okay, see, it's not moving. There's an electric shut-off in this thing. So let me try to pull this and hold the plug. Let me give you a look. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this back so it's in the run position. All right, go ahead and pull it over. Okay, I see spark now. That was wrong. There's something wrong with this, so I'm going to eliminate this by putting a wire tie on it right now so it stays in the right spot because that handle up there is all bent up. I'll have to figure out what's wrong with that later. So let me go ahead and get this plug in and see if we can get it fired up. Okay, I went ahead and put the plug back in, and I wire tied this up so the electrical connection isn't grounding out the ignition system. So let's try starting it again. All right. right, well, we actually got this one running. It had several problems. You know, I think the main problem is that the brake that cuts the mower off, there's something wrong with this cable and the bar up there. That's why they have that clamp, that weird looking clamp up there. So that's messed up and needs to be taken care of. The carburetor was falling apart, and the intake manifold gasket right here was leaking. There's bolts missing there, a bolt broken here, so I put a bolt in the washer there just to hold it. We put a different plug in. It up and runs. It sounded pretty good once we got it running, right? He says no, I don't know. But we definitely need to get a longer pull cord because that kind of stinks that the pull cord's not long enough. I don't know, and the self-propelled doesn't work. So this one here, I think, still is probably good for a parts mower. I don't want to put any money into this. There's just too much stuff wrong with it. But we did get it up and running. Definitely a good parts mower if we need a carburetor, because the carburetor seems like it's working, you know. So I don't know if you could call this one a win, but it's definitely going to be a good parts mower. Maybe we'll look into a little bit more and see what's going on with the self-propelled. The cable seems to be all there, but we haven't really flipped it over. Alrighty, buddy. Well, I think we're going to leave this one here. So here's the Poulan Pro we got out of the trash. Wasn't running. Had a bunch of problems. You know, we took some time, found some nuts and bolts, and put a little oil in it, and got it back up and running. It looks like there is a bunch of stuff up in the cooling fins that need to be cleaned out before you really use it. So this one here, I think we're going to take and put as a parts mower for now. So I think I'm going to leave it at this one. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. You can do that right there in that corner, and we'll talk to y'all later. Thanks a lot. Okay, bonus footage time. So first thing, we got to notice that this thing was kind of running really high, and this is the governor right here. The governor seems to be stuck. I don't know what's going on with that. We're going to have to take the top off, take a peek at the governor. So then we started going ahead and look at the self-propelled problem on it. We've taken the bolt loose. Go ahead and pull that thing out. Ooh, yucky. Will that slide on out? A little full. A little full. So I don't think it's a mouse nest. I think it's just from use. So go ahead and pull the self-propelled cable. Let's see what's going on. Okay, well, nothing seems to be moving down here. It seems like it's not pulling the lever for the self-propelled. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it won't pull. Do it again. Yeah, this is just flexing. I don't know what's going on. We're going to have to get into this. So anyway, like I said, this one's probably going to be a parts lawnmower anyway, but we wanted to take it apart and take a look at it and see what was going on. There's obviously something wrong with the transmission. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching the bonus footage. Okay, wait. Bonus footage number 2. So we kind of got the thing moving, jumping around a little bit. And then we start smelling a smell, so we decided to go ahead and pull this cover off here, and the belt is not on the pulley. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's so bright out here. The belt is not on the pulley. So we're going to jump the belt on the pulley and then see if the self-propelled works. Before, it was jerking around real bad and smoking. So we're going to try to get the belt on and see if that fixes it. All right, there's bonus footage number 2. All right, bonus footage number 3. So this thing had a lot of stuff tied, a lot of stuff built up in here. So we think maybe that's what made the belt jump off down there, because it had a bunch of stuff down there. So like I said, we always take the plug off when we're working on it. All right, go ahead and start it up. Hey. Good try. Okay, well, now that we put the belt back on properly, squeeze the self-propelled, let go, The self-propelled is always engaged. Let me try to pull this back some. All right, here, start it up again and see if it's still engaged. Let me prime it. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so there's something wrong with the transmission that it's always engaged. Well, at least we know the transmission partly good. All right, but still, I think this one's going to be a parts mower, but we thought we'd give you some more bonus footage. So that ends bonus footage number 3.